Hello, Dan here, back with another video. Today I'm going to be highlighting a specific creator, comic creator that is also kind of a homie of mine. His name is Nate McDonough. I've talked about him a little bit in the past on other videos and have threatened to make a video about him for a while now. He is a comics creator, underground kind of creator, makes mini comics and self-published type stuff. And he also is an eBay seller, so he buys and sells comics on eBay. And I purchase comics from him on eBay here and there, and I just got a package in the mail today, so from Nate. So I was thinking I would maybe do a little unboxing video, but then I started thinking about it, and I'm like, I keep threatening to make the actual Grixly Nate McDonough video. So I just gathered up all of my Nate stuff and I sat down here on the couch to shoot this video. It's just me and Skippy here right now, so with any luck he will behave and we will get a good video out of this without having too many barking distractions. Hey, look at that, you can see my Christmas tree in the reflection. Tried turning on the tree to give me some more lighting in here. All right, so before we get started, I'm going to flash some of the contact information for Nate on this screen here with my high-tech powers of writing. I don't know how to put things into the comments or the description. You know what it is. So anyway, here's what you need to do. You need to check out his web store, grixlycomics.storenv.com. On Instagram, he's at grixlycola. There's his name, Nate McDonough. You can find him on Patreon if you just search Patreon and search Grixly or search his name. And then his eBay store is Holiday Comics. So I'll start with just a little backstory of how I came into contact with Nate. The first time I ever heard of him was actually on Cartoonist Kayfabe. Early on, they did a video that was a bootleg comics video. And they showed off one of his comics. It was a Pit bootleg, Pit number 21. So Dale Keown's Pit was a favorite of mine when I was younger, and the series ended with number 20. Well, Nate took it upon himself to make a bootleg of never released issue 21. So I saw that on that video and I thought it looked really cool. I can't remember if I tried to search him out specifically to find that comic, or maybe they mentioned that he does a comic called Grixly and I found his store that way. But to my knowledge, the first way I encountered actually communications with him was through eBay, through buying comics from him. He started an eBay store and he sold a lot of cool indie and underground type comics for really, really good prices. And we kind of instantly struck up a little friendship and took our relationship from eBay to more of an emailing back and forth type of relationship. So most of the time I just will email him to check in about different stuff he's got for sale, and he hooks me up with some great deals. He tends to throw in cool extra free stuff for me. He actually used to do a lot of artwork on the packages themselves, so it was always fun to get a package in the mail and see a big drawing from him on there. But, through emailing with him, I come to find, he knows Jim Rugg and Ed Piskor and recounting stories about digging for comics with Ed, which was really cool. And, Jim Rugg appears in his Grixly mini comic in one issue and stuff. So I'm gonna go through and show everything I have, and I'm not gonna be talking about all the stories or showing all the pages. I'm basically just gonna show the covers and just flip through a few things. I guess the first thing I'll show off that he created was this t-shirt design. This was a commission that I had him do. Since I'm on his Patreon, I get one commission per year, and this was the first one I commissioned. So my band is Shadow Limb, and he came up with this design. We didn't have any description of what we wanted from him. We just told him that our songs were a lot of times about like knights and warriors and kingdoms falling into ash, and we have a release called The King is Dead, so I think he knew that, and that's why he did that one. But we call this design the Choose Your Warrior, and it looks like a Nintendo game screen where you pick your character, so it's like you choose your warrior. So Nate had started his Grixly comics, I believe, in 2009. And I started buying them from him right away through his web store. And very shortly after that, when he finally started his Patreon, I became a Patreon member. It's the only Patreon I've ever subscribed to. So because I'm on the higher tier of the Patreon, I get every mini comic he creates, which is usually about 4 a year, plus any other collaborations he does with other artists or any other releases he may come out with, which are oftentimes full-length graphic novels. He also gives me 1 free commission per year, and he'll tend to throw in a couple of free goodies. But one time early on, he gave me a package which had all the back issues of Grixly that were still available. So the earliest one I have is number 23. So anything before 23 I don't have, and I have a few other holes in the collection as well. But I'm actually really I'd love to track down all of the issues, and I don't know how that's even going to be possible. Nate doesn't have any of these other issues that I don't have. So it's probably never going to happen. I mean, who knows how much was even printed of these. This one does not say the year in it, but usually he puts the year. So you can kind of track his evolution through these comics. You can see the layouts on these first issues, and it changes quite a bit as time goes on. This is just a lot of little random stories. A lot of it is autobiographical. Perhaps there's things that he, just little fun stories he made up. But I know as it moves on, it's definitely pretty much all autobio comics. And he draws himself, without his glasses, with, an abnormally large nose. And his nose isn't that big, but I think he does a pretty good job of his likeness, even though maybe he makes himself a little less attractive than he should. So there is Grixly number 23. Some of the issues of Grixly actually have like another subtitle, and it says inside Grixly number 24 or whatever. This one's called Josh and Kaylee. That one had a nice cardstock cover. This one's just all on the same kind of paper. And I believe, in the very back, it says Grixly number 26. So this just must be some friends he knows named Josh and Kaylee, and he made some kind of comic about him. I've read all of these. I just can't remember them. Here's a police officer. That's going to pop up in a later release that he came out with. All right, Skippy, it's okay. Grixly number 28. Now, he does some really cool drawings of big 2 characters. So there's a pretty sweet Dr. Doom. And some of his releases are in full color, and you can see he really knows what he's doing with the color. Looks kind of like all marker and stuff like that. This one was December 2013. New Year's with Nate. Some of it's in a 4-panel grid. He moves into a 9-panel grid later in his more recent issues. They started out in these smaller sizes, and then it kind of alternates a little bit between some different sizes, and then he lands on a bigger size for a while. 29, back to having no cardstock cover and no real coloring, but there's the number 29, much, much thinner than the last one, and just kind of more sparse. So maybe he got into cranking these out fast at a certain time. This was June 2013. This one is Grixly number 30. Nice dinosaur cover and an incredible Wu-Tang back cover. I don't remember what these Wu-Tang guys are crossed with, but it's something from pop culture that someone will probably leave in the comments if they watch this. This piece of art is actually still available on his web store. So if you go into his web store, you can buy a lot of the current releases of Grixly, the ones that are still available, as well as original art. His original art is all priced around $10 to $30. There's a few pieces on there that are $45 maybe. The Wu-Tang one might be more. He might have a couple for $80, but most of them are like $10 to $20. So 2014 for this one. Sometimes it's just pin-up pages like that with like Wolverine and different characters, which I think is pretty rad. Then we got issue 32. So I jumped from 30 to 32. I don't have 31 as far as I can tell. So this one's, sometimes he does weird things where like the front cover is this and then the back cover actually has the logo on it. There's even one issue where he put the wrong number. I don't know if that was on purpose or not, but I'll show you when we get there. All right, number 33. $20.15 on the signature here for this one. His comics are super, super funny. I just really like them. They're very honest. One of my favorite things about Nate is his way with words. He has a really, really elegant way with words and a really good vocabulary. And the way he words things is just extremely clever. Every time I read these, I'm always like, wow, I would have never thought to have worded it that way. And it just, I don't know, it sounds like maybe he doesn't have to put a lot of thought into that kind of thing. It just comes out natural. Next one is a very large magazine size issue, and it doesn't say Grixly on the front. It's just a big magazine called Click Clack. And this is a nice cardstock cover on this one as well. This artwork here, I believe he uses for a future mini comic that we might see coming up. And then only in the back does it say Grixly number 34. This one is 2015 hand numbered. Okay, so 39 out of 200. So yeah, I think he did hand number them for a while. I think he stopped doing that. Looks like the next one's actually out of 150. So his print run's very small. It's interesting. This goes upside down here. I don't know if that's a misprint or what, but here we got some color. It's really nice colored ink that he uses. To my knowledge, he doesn't do anything digitally aside from this, flattening the blacks and stuff. This looks like it's probably a collaboration. So as he goes on, he brings in some collaborations where he'll have someone else write a story or draw something that he writes. But yeah. This is a nice thick issue. And yeah, a lot of the pages are upside down. I can't remember what the deal is with that. All right, now at some point I got a bunch of digest bags and boards, and I just started throwing them in there. I was just bored one day. I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna put my mini comics in these. I wanna take care of them. I have basically one short box completely filled and then stacked on top of them with mini comics. So I don't want them to get all scrunched up in there. So I put them in these bags and boards when possible, and then I'll put them all inside of a bigger bag. Here's number 36, number 114 out of 150. That's our sweet cover. Pretty gangster. Really cool, creepy homage back cover. Summer 2016 on this one. There's a little Conan for you, Damien. Assuming that's Conan. I love the way he draws his faces and his clothing, and especially his hands. He just has a way with the fingers that is very recognizable. So that was 36. I'm gonna try to pick up the pace on these a little bit. There's 37. 38. We are probably missing some good back covers on these, but probably don't want to see every single one. This one is number 39, but it does not say it. Once again, it's kind of a disguised issue. It's called The Big Winner. There's some of those hands I'm talking about. Look how cool those hands are. Look at that guy. Awesome. $2. Number 109 out of 200. Oh, featuring full-length story. So this is, yeah, departing from the normal autobio format, full-length story. Police officers become kind of a theme in his work. Kind of some crooked cop type guys. Here is number 40. Color back. It's again possibly someone else's art on this panel, but I can't say for sure. Self-portrait of the man. Yeah, type on cover, portrait below by Matt Kish. So that's someone else, not a self-portrait. Someone else did that portrait of him. Another one, you have to look at the very bottom to see that it's number 41. This is Love is Scared. Number 41. Number 42. Number 43 is back to being bigger again. So those last few were all pretty small. I like this one, this shirt that she's wearing on that. I think that's a she. Bring the pain. Is that a Jason Voorhees kind of guy? All right, number 44. That one always stood out to me. At some point I got some doubles of these two and I gave them to my friend. Number 45. Kind of like a little story right on the front there. Not sure what the deal is with that. He definitely didn't draw that. I should be showing all these backs. The back covers have some of the best art on them. But once again, his stories are so fun, and I like it because it's a small comic, but it does take a little while to read. I sit here and read these things and just really soak it all in. His storytelling's great. Sometimes there's a lot of text, sometimes not. And there's a color insert in the middle of this one. That's nice. Okay, number 46. Some kind of a Dazzler looking character. Got some Wolverine claws slicing through those praying hands. Hell yeah, that rules. Still a print run of 200 on these. Late 2018 to early 2019. First page in color. So one thing that I kind of assume about Nate, that I kind of gather just through the process of, oh, you want something cool? This panel right here, I own the original of this. I've got some original art from him that I'm gonna show off a little bit. Yeah, it's got some nice color put through here. The sense I get from Nate's work is kind of, I guess, maybe remind me of like my band and how we're just compelled to make music. We don't make money doing it, and we just do it for the love of it, and because we can't not do it. It's just what we do. It's something that I've always done, and it gives me that creative outlet and a lot of personal fulfillment. And I get the sense of that with Nate's art, that this is just his thing. And I know he gets these into certain shops, but you know, I don't know that he's making a living on this. He's definitely making a living selling comics on eBay, so I'll talk about that in a little bit. The selling of comics on eBay becomes a very large theme within these Grixly comics. I can't remember which issue it starts, but it's coming up here anytime. So 47, really cool cover on that one. Victor Cairo. So he does some collaborations with Victor Cairo. There's a Victor Cairo piece at the bottom. He loves drawing these little dogs. I've got a drawing that he did for me. I'll show you of a dog coming up soon. I'm gonna bust them out just because we don't want to miss some of these back covers. These back covers are great. 48. $49, another one with the cool dog. One of the commissions he did for me, it was the second one he did for me, was Jonah Hex, who's one of my favorite comic characters of all time. And he actually used this design and the Jonah Hex in his Grixly comic. I thought that was cool. So I have a feeling that some of the pinups and back covers and things like that are things that he's actually done as commissions for his Patreon subscribers. So it's got a few color pages in the front. Obviously, like Flaming Lips in Ohio 2015, and it's all happy, and then the spider just like kind of shows a little bit of his personality. Teddy Bear Venom. But I really like his art, and I just really like his writing as well. That's what you want. You want both to be good. 51. This one has some digital elements on the front. This magazine has been treated with an antimicrobial process. Let me guess, 2020? Fall 2020, fall to winter 2020, 2021. So this must have been pandemic. Oh yeah, don't forget your gloves. So front cover puppies by Taylor Stefanko. That's who did those. So it's probably around this part in the run where Nate started to incorporate stories about what it was like, what some of the experiences he's had digging for comics and selling them on eBay. So he created a recurring segment. By the way, yeah, minions. I'm just talking over. You want to see these minions closer. God Squad. He started making comic strips in these books that would recur, like a recurring strip called long boxes. And long boxes talked about some of the more humorous and memorable experiences he's had while digging for comics. He's also gone, to buy collections from private sellers and anything you could imagine. Any way you could imagine acquiring comics, he did. Number 53. He actually drives around. Now he moved from Pittsburgh, where he was living when he knew Jim and Ed, to Colorado. And so now he's not surrounded by all those awesome stores they have in Pittsburgh, and he's having to trek a little farther to get comics. Here you can see him, a room full of comics. Yeah, so, yeah, these are definitely long box segments. And this is where he goes to this 9-panel grid with no panel borders. And I think this is kind of what he's adopted for a while now. Here's a funny one. This is how I draw myself, how I actually look, but I wear glasses. Oh, and I've been wearing the mask, of course, and the glasses too. And the glasses likely get fogged up. So these long box segments were not necessarily planned to go, but they were great, and he was really enjoying doing them. I think people liked them. I certainly did. And so eventually he collected all of those long boxes strips into a graphic novel that is recently come out. And Chris Piers, Mr. Comic Tropes, did a very nice review of it on a recent live stream that he did. That's probably one of those commissions. Still 200 print run. Mashup of Twisted Tales from Pacific Comics with Twisted Tea. Some kind of booze reference or something. A little bit of pencil on that page there. Some of these newer issues might still be available too. I think the ones in like the 50s and 60s might still be available. Okay, here the covers start getting really incredible. They've all been incredible. What am I talking about? But some of these ones, like 55, look at 55. It's like a bunch of strips on the front. You get Batman and Joker. That cool guy on the back. Yeah, this is all these characters are talking about long boxes and comic digging and stuff like that. So some of these issues are front to back, all long boxes strips. As he got more and more into it, I think that's what this one might be. So just some of the humorous things and the nerds that you meet while digging for comics. Okay, that was 55. 56 is kind of weird. It's 56 at the bottom, then there's a corner box that says 55. Not sure if that was intentional. Fuck you, motherfucker, get out of your fucking car. That's America for you, I guess. Spice World, XXX parody, awesome. Ah, here we go. There's my band's shirt design. And he just put his indicia in the center, sweet. Here we have something from another artist as well. '57. Some more classic Marvel characters. I think Nate's a big Spider-Man fan, so we've got some of what Spider-Man Rogues Gallery going there. Oh, and then the back of this one. You ready for this? This is my other commission that I've got. Bam, look at that, Jonah Hex. So sweet. He really put his time in on this one. It's really great. Spring to Summer 2022 on issue 57. '58. Got this truck, Blue Lives Matter. You'll see something about Blue Lives in a minute here. So this is another one where this is actually the front of the comic. And it's just this Grixly's Genuine Yellow Mustard. And the back cover has the proper logo. So he just messes around with this format. The 3 most unforgettable men's hairstyles of the last century. Willie Nelson, Guy Fieri, and Adolf Hitler. I love the cover of 59. Also kind of random, he puts the type backwards on here, which is looking forwards in my screen, but I know it's actually backwards. Once again, digging for comics, imagining all these different things happening. And then we've got, let's see if this is actually, no, it's not the actual one, but there's a Spider-Man bootleg coming up. This is his parody of Spirits of Venom, Web of Spider-Man. This era was great. Here's another pinup by somebody else. This is when he was just getting fully immersed in the long box's tale. Number 60. With a Pee Wee Herman Back cover, fall 2022 to winter 2023. '61, Hero of the Beach. And this on the back. Another guest, Audra Stang. Looks like he was still in Pittsburgh at this time. It said drawn in Pittsburgh. Oh, 62 is so good. This cover is amazing. I think I sent 61 and 62 to Terrence when we had a trade. Look at that savage cover. And this is so awesome. The enemy of my enemy is now my boyfriend. Punisher with a police officer. All right, let's keep moving here. Okay, so 63. Let me see. Two of these kind of relate to each other. Maybe it's 63 and 64. 64 is in the next bag, but on 63, we do have a cover by someone else. Yeah, here's the deal. So 63, front cover here, and then the inside cover is the cover for 64, which you'll see in a second. Front cover by John Minrich. So John Minrich has collaborated with him quite a bit. And then the back is like the Nate version. It's kind of like Nate's cover and the variant cover for that one. This one doesn't really count as a Grixly, but it's in there next to Grixly 63 because this is like a bootleg Grixly 63 done by Jacob Strife, and it's, I think, Jacob having some fun with Nate, and yeah, I can't remember. Like I said, I read these all when I get them, and then I haven't gone back and reread them. All right, last bag of Grixlys, then we'll go on to some of his other zines, self-published graphic novels, bootleg comics, original art, and then at the end we will do the unboxing. Okay, so Grixly 64, there's that cover we just saw with an incredible Violator, and then the back cover. So this is how it's supposed to go right here. Pretty sweet. 63, 64. Yeah, 64. Oh yeah, so the front cover is actually that. I think I just had that one facing out. And then this one has the 63 cover inside. So I think he just made this, printed the same cover, and then he was just able to use it for both. So that's pretty cool. '65 is a wraparound cover. 2.5 feet of cheese in the crust. And this one is, he's now in Durango, Colorado, winter 23-24. I believe that's him with his current girlfriend. Yes, because here we have number 66, and this is pretty good. So here's his girlfriend and his girlfriend's daughter, and it's career day. I love this so much. You can see the mom. I think she drew that. This cover was drawn with Lila Maloney, late winter 2024, Durango, Colorado. So there's Lila, and the daughter is saying, her name is Ms. Etsy. My parents do e-commerce. My mother is a textile artist who does labor-intensive needlepoint. And then she talks about Nate. And it's Mr. eBay. He's like Mr. Moneybags, looking pretty psychotic. My stepdad sells comics and then draws comics about the comics that he's sold and then sells those ones. Guess which one makes a living off of their work? Sells comics and then draws comics about the comics that he's sold and then sells those ones. So good. Dude, I love that so much. Here in between my 66 and 67 is the unpunctual submission of the Imperial Egg. So there's another thing he contributed to called Imperial Egg that I'll show you in a minute. I don't actually even know if Nate's in here. I actually had to sift through a lot of this stuff to weed out all the other mini comics that Nate has given me over the years that were not him, that were just buddies of his. He throws in his friends' mini comics all the time. So here's number 67. And sweet Batman smoking on the back. It's great. Ashes to Ashes, Ryan Alves, Drew B. Hall this summer. That's Nate's art for sure. I mean, he's promoting something that his friends are doing. I know Ryan Alves is someone that he's collaborated with a lot. Summer 2024 for this issue. '68. I love that strip. Starts right on the front. And the back. '69, absolutely insane cover. Don't believe that's Nate's art, but I'll look into here and see. Oh, Fearsome 4 variant in there. It's handwritten, I think. Variant 6 out of 70. Didn't know about that one. Adam Falp back cover for that one. Let's see if I can find the indicia on this one. Oh yeah, that's Victor Cairo. Should have been able to recognize it with all the insanity. Winter 2024 to 2025. Front covers by Victor Havsex Cairo. Number 70 with a dope Wolverine and Sabretooth. Improved taste and texture on this issue. It's great. Back cover is by Lila, so that's his lady. And then here are the current 2 issues. Oh yeah, so that's right. This is the one that gets confusing. So Grixly 69, and then this one also says 69. But then you open it up and it's number 70. So I'm not quite sure what the deal is with that. Number 71, this one just arrived in the mail, haven't read it yet. Showed this on my last video. Awesome. And the last most current issue, number 72. Awesome Swamp Thing. Okay, so the front cover is by Colin Sims on this one. All right, so that is Grixly, my friends. Get some Grixly in your collection. You'll be stoked that you did. All right, so next I think what we're gonna do is go to his graphic novels. The first thing I ever got from Nate, I believe before I ever even got any Grixly comics, was this little graphic novel he made called Blue Lives. It was from 2018 and square bound, 132-page graphic novel. This is a trippy book. This is about these police officers in like the apocalyptic wasteland. They're like the only people left, but they're shrunken down to like the size of little rodents or something. You can see them behind these glasses. It is a fucking weird comic, but it's awesome. I wish this was still in print because this was one of the best ones I can recall reading. I wish it was in print for you guys. I'm super pleased to have a copy. Bunch of pinups by other people in the back. So now I can't recall the chronology of these, so I'm not gonna even try. I can't remember which one came first and later. But all I know is I got Blue Lives first. The most recent one is Long Boxes, which we'll come back to in a sec. And then these other four, well, so one of these is actually very recent. Then these other three, he just gave me at some point. And so I'm not sure, they probably say inside when they were made, but why they weren't on his web store. If I'd seen these on his web store, I would have bought them back in the day. But this is I Saw Him, another square-bound graphic novel, a Grixly comic right there. This one is not numbered, but almost the same length as Blue Lives. And yeah, October 2013 to January 2014 was when this one was drawn. And I can't remember the story as well. It's been a while since I've read this one. All done with these 2-panel per page design, but he puts a lot of work into these graphic novels. Not that he doesn't with Grixly, but I just feel like that he spends a long time on this art. So it's like some kind of a werewolf comic or something. I can't remember, honestly. But that's an awesome one. Has an interesting kind of little bit of a slightly rubbery texture to the cover. Then we've got Nap Time. Same interesting texture to this one. This is magazine sized. There's those Nate hands. That's a thinner, square-bound graphic novel. First printing, number 137 of 200, hand numbered, 2016. Yeah, this one was really cool. It's pretty surreal. These comics are definitely out there, and that's why I like them. Some of them are a little more straightforward. Of course, you know, Long Boxes is all based on true things that have happened to him. Another large square-bound graphic novel. This one's called Made Fun. I'm pretty certain I have more Nate stuff in my collection that I couldn't find. I was just digging through the shelves and the boxes. I'm like, what all do I have by him? And so I'm worried I'm missing something. So Nate, if you watch this, put it in the comments. What am I missing? Do you have anything left I don't have? I don't think so. I think he's honestly sent me everything he's created. So his second most recent graphic novel is Just a Little Boy. And I think this one was really important to him. I can't remember exactly what the genesis of this one was, but it's really neat. Square bound, no page count, but yeah, you know, 100, 120 pages. This back cover is incredible. I will show you that in a moment because I own the original art to that as well. So this one is about this child being born to some very negligent parents, and I can't remember the whole thing. How long has it been since I've read this? When did it come out? Winter 2022. So it's been like 3 years, 3 or 4 years. And then finally, the really important one, I'm sure, to Nate, the one that is still available, I'm sure, and if it's not, more than likely it'll be coming back into print, is long boxes. Honestly, I don't know why a more well-known indie publisher doesn't pick this up and publish it. I could see this being a Fantagraphics book. Totally could. There's that pin up from the other issue. So this collects the entire Long Boxes Volume 1. I think he is working on more from 2020 to 2024, originally printed in Grixly 50 through 68. So this is all the stuff that he did about his experiences going to cons, going to shops, going to private sellers, and all of the bizarreness that comes with it. Not to mention the inner workings of eBay and just all the annoying stuff that can happen, but he loves it. I mean, this guy's making a living digging for comics. And, you know, he started out selling on eBay with, like I said, what to me was more of my personal taste, which is indie comics and, you know, stuff more off the beaten path. And now he's moved into more of, like, you know, higher end silver, bronze age, even some golden age Marvel and DC, which you got to admit, you know, if you're trying to make a living on eBay selling comics, you're going to have to eventually do that. That's what 99% of the comics fans out there are always looking for, is, you know, good deals on high grade, rare comics and key issues. He doesn't do the slabs. I mean, once in a while he might have one on there, but he doesn't take comics and slab them and then sell them on there. It's all just raw comics. All right, let's take a look at some of his incredible bootlegs. Actually, well, we got some more standalone mini comics here actually to go through. If you're not tired of hearing about Nate, I'm just gonna keep talking about Nate for an hour or more. It's already getting close to an hour. I love this guy, and I want everyone to know about him. So here's an interesting one I got called Johnny Arcade, I believe. Pyramid Pop and Neviet's Grixly presents Johnny Arcade. So this one is a collaboration. The writer is Neviet's, and the artist is Nate McDonough, right there at the top. And this is awesome because it's full color, start to finish. Doesn't have the cardstock cover he a lot of times has, but you know, this is a lot more expensive to print in color. And his color is amazing. Johnny Arcade. Here's one I remember being stoked to get when it came out. Or actually, this was probably one of the first ones I got, actually. Satan Was So Over It. A collaboration with Jared Shanahan and Nate. Super cool cover. I gotta just go back through and read all these again. Oh yeah, this one is text and splash pages. Yeah, let's get it on that splash page for a sec. Well, I guess not the whole thing. About half of it is text and images, and then it goes into some strips. All right, here's a little interesting one, a 2-issue series called Bears in Space. And this is number 2. So here's number 1. Bears in Space number 1. Collaboration between Nate McDonough and Daniel McCloskey. Hell yeah. Look at that bear's necklace. Sweet monster heads. Full color. Actually, no. Just a front cover. Just a one wrap is color. But dude, bear fights, awesome. I remember these ones being really fun. This is from 2012. And then there was a second issue, Bears in Space #2. I think it's the same dudes. Yep, Dan McCloskey. This one is 2013 through 2015. So wow, they must have started it up, dropped it, and then picked it back up and started doing it some more. But all color in this one. And some gruesome bear action. Real cool. These are all out of print, guys. I wish you could get them. I don't have a lot of rare comics in my collection, but you know, it's kind of cool that I have a ton of them from one guy. So this one is called Dramatic Reenactment #1. John Minarich again on that. So this is Dramatic Reenactment #1. John and Nate. John Minarich and Nate collaboration comic. So you probably, after watching this video, can start to tell the Nate art from the not Nate art. So there's Nate and there's John. Another collaboration with Jared Shanahan from the Satan Was So Over It comic. This one's called Sober Time. This is a wraparound. Pretty cool. Bear pissing at the top. So again, some text and strips mixed together. Nate, you rule. Keep doing it, man. House of the Eyeball. Written by Tyler McAndrew with art by Nate. So different writer on this one. This is the 4th Halloween collaboration comic, it says. October 2020. Number 161 of 200. That's right, he was doing some Halloween comics. I remember this one being really fun. One of the absolute most memorable covers he's ever done, by far, is Rare Breeds. Check out Rare Breeds. This is the 3rd Halloween comic collaboration from Tyler McAndrew and Nate. October 2019, number 7. Whoa, guess that wasn't stapled in all too well. I know he does these all pretty much himself, gets them all printed himself and staples them all himself. I've even got certain issues where you can tell his stapler got all fucked up and the staples were all bent. Here's one called True Force. Not a wraparound, but it's got a really good back cover too. Fuck yeah, look at that, man. Savage. Skip, you're being so good over there. So let's see what this one's from. 2021, March 2021. All color. All right, a couple more. Our last one of this style, and then we're on to some bootlegs and some other random things that he sent me. Magician's Sleeve. And this is October 2021, Tyler McAndrew and Nate. So this maybe is their 1st or 2nd Halloween collaboration. Awesome. Whew, I got a lot of comics from him. I didn't realize exactly how many I had, but wow. Where am I putting these things? All right. So, the infamous Pit bootleg. Let's go ahead and tie this in with some of the original art as well. So the way I acquired this was an interesting story. I wanted this so bad when I met Nate. I really, really wanted a copy. And he didn't have any. And I was like, is there any stores around you that have copies that you dropped off? And he's like, oh, I'll look around for you. And he couldn't find one. And I was like, oh, it's not meant to be. And then he hit me up and was like, Dan, I got a copy for you. And I was like, oh, wow, how'd that come about? And I think it's pretty sad. I think it was his uncle maybe who passed away, and they were cleaning out his house and found a copy that he'd given to his uncle. And I mean, my memory may not serve correct on that, but I remember it being something like he got this from a family member, and I thought it had something to do with a family member who passed away. So once again, it's Pit 21. It's like, let's just pick up where Pit left off, but it's pretty much just a bunch of fighting. And it's absolutely incredible. All color. It's like level 1, level 2, kind of like a video game. But there's a sequence in the middle that is just so awesome. Scorpion. Level 4. I'm just going to show all the pages on this one. If you want to pause it, you can, and look at this in close up. So let me just show you the character that comes out here. So all of a sudden in level 5, he gets attacked by this creature of some kind that is basically a butt with a leg and an arm and 2 heads sticking out of it that's holding some pistols right here. And that thing gets on his back and he's fighting him, and then this guy rolls up, and this guy has horses for hands. Amazing. What a cool creature. So yeah, it's all wordless, and it's just like fighting through a video game. So this was August 2023. Last page. And on the back. So, I can't remember how it came about. Sometime after I received this, he was like, you want some original art? I was like, dude, of course. And he's like, what's your favorite page from that Pit bootleg? I was like, oh, dude, you sent me some of the Pit art? You gotta be kidding me. Well, I really, really like that sequence with the guy with the leg and the arm and the 2 heads, and then the guy with the horse hands. So, let's see. Got a bunch of stuff here. Here we go. So Nate did not just send me a page, but he sent me the original art from the entire sequence. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, like 9 pages. So each one of these pages of Bristol is a panel from the comic. And one of the cool things about these is on the back are other stuff, other strips and comics he'd worked on from seemingly a long time ago. Like this art style is way different. Apologies, Nate, if you don't want me showing your old work, but I mean, how cool is that? Like he reused some Bristol that he had, you know, kind of given up on a story or something and just painted on the other side. So there's that weird creature with the pistols around Pit's neck. think I've got these in the correct order. And yeah, pages from other stuff on the back of every one. There's Mr. Horse Hands. It's like a combination of watercolor, maybe like some kind of markers or pencil crayons or something. Looks, yeah, like some kind of, I don't know much about the types of things. Pages on the back. There's both the characters in one. More on the back there. So sweet. So no, I don't own any, you know, original art from, you know, professionals of, you know, high-end artwork or anything like that. I just own this. And I think a little piece from Adam Yater. But I'm stoked. I think that's back at the beginning. So yeah, all of them have that stuff on the back. And there's a little picture I drew of my dad as a superhero named The Wrench. My dad was a mechanic, so I turned him into a little superhero. I forgot where I had put in that drawing. It's tucked behind Nate's work here. Also in this bag is this is a Deadpool the movie ass gasket, like a toilet seat cover that he sent me. All right, so we'll come back to some more original art in a second. Let's talk about some of his other bootlegs. So outside of Pitt, there was, these are all mostly collaborations as far as I know. Wolferini, and I love that cover. That's not Nate on the cover, but I do really love the art on that. Victor Cairo on the back cover there. Fucking awesome. No one needs me to tell you what that's an homage of. So this is just really funny Wolverine parodies by a bunch of different people. So I don't remember what Nate's page is. Oh yeah, here we go. Wait, no, that's not him, but I shouldn't just sit here and show every single page. Yeah, here we go. Wolverine goes to town. It's great. So awesome. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So yeah, so Nate's is a 6-pager in the middle. So this was a really cool one. I did have a double of this that I gave to Comic Crack as well. I also gave Comic Crack a double I had of this one, which is a more recent one, and I know he really liked it. It's called the Cosmic Surfer, Silver Surfer bootleg. So this is Patrick Sparrow and Nate, and I believe it's just like a split, like half of it is Patrick Sparrow's art, and the second half is Nate's. So I'll just give you a glimpse. Patrick's art is really good too. This is a really fun comic. Then going forward, you get chapter 2 is where Nate's art starts up. Don't know how you can get a hold of that one either. No publisher on it. I do have 2 copies here of this Spider-Man bootleg. Number 1026 is the issue number on this. And I think this is all Nate. Nate's got a lot of Spider-Man available on his eBay store for sale all the time. He's a fan. I know there's parts in in the long boxes where he's talking to people in comic book stores about this great artist on Spider-Man, and all the person in the store cares about is the cover. He's like, yeah, but look inside the comic. Look at how great this guy's art is, and look at how great this story is. But you just can't get through to some of those comic shop guys, you know? They just want to slab it up. So those are awesome. And then the most recent bootleg that just came in last week, Maximum Garbage. I showed this on my last video as well. This is a collaboration with Colin Sims, who did the pencils and the story, and then Nate just inked it. So it's a really funny one too. This chick who fights with her boobs, and this Jonah Jameson guy's got a big part of it. Look at this one, that is so good. And his buddy John on the back there. Now, this is something that I think is absolutely awesome in a recent comic package within the last year or so. I got my Grixly comics, and in there was this mini comic called Devil Worm. And as you can see, there's some child drawings on here. It's by Nate and Lila and Cece. So Nate and his woman and her daughter collaborated on a mini comic. So fun. I don't know how old she is, but it's so cute and so cool. And look at that, her first comic, and there's already some guy on YouTube talking about it. You're a star, Cece. So fun. So that's Devil Worm. And then the last one I have here is another collab with Victor Cairo. This one is insane too. It's called Paid by the Line. So that's Victor Cairo cover. On the back is Nate's art with Victor Cairo coloring it. And then this page is Nate, the god of stabbing. And the last 6 pages in the back here are Nate's. But then the rest of this is all just whacked out Victor Cairo art. It's just ridiculous. Like that black and white piece right there. Some turtle stuff. It's awesome. So, Paid by the Line 2023. Paid by the Line 2 coming 2024. I don't know that there was a Paid by the Line 2 because I don't have one. And if there was one out there, I'm sure I would have it. Okay, an interesting one that I got from him that I did read, and wasn't my favorite thing ever, but I can see, you know, he sent it to me because it was something he did, and I'm on his Patreon. This is a comic called Up South in Akron, Ohio, summer 1959. But this is by Umar bin Hassan, is the writer of this comic. It's very short, but it's really heavy-duty cover, and it's written by Umar, and Bill Adler was the editor. Nate drew this whole thing, and then Ed Piskor lettered it. So here's the creators with Nate's portraits of them, including Eddie P. That's pretty cool. So he did get to collaborate with Ed Piskor. And then the art in this is fantastic. But it was this guy's story about what happened in this time in Akron. It didn't stick in my memory too much, but it was cool. But it's very, very short. It's maybe like 8 pages. And the rest of it is some making of. Well, we made it an hour and 10 minutes before the barking started, guys. That's not bad. Skippy, come on. Come on. None of that. All right, let's just get through the rest of this stuff real fast. We'll just finish off with his actual work and then go on to the last bit of original art I have, and then we'll do the unboxing. So I have quite a few copies of this Imperial Egg. This is a newspaper that he contributed to. So if anybody wants a copy of Imperial Egg, I can probably get you one. There's a lot of creators on the back there. So he's in this, and it was a free newspaper that he just sent me. He said, hey, hand these out for free. So I've given them out to some friends. Then there's 2 issues he gave me of Scarf, and he's in this issue 13 with an incredibly cool Terminator cover. And it's got all the kinds of different people in it. But Nate is page 7. To rip this thing, all the art in this is good. There we go. There's Nate's page. I think that's the only page he's on. Yeah. So as I mentioned before, he would draw on the packages I get from him. So why I save these, I don't know, but I just like them. Like this one with the dog, the 666 on the forehead, thanking me for my purchase. I mean, that's an eBay seller that goes the extra mile to make sure you're happy and providing positive feedback. Another one, bird with shoes. These are just parts of bubble wrap. But then the rest of them were actually from cardboard boxes, and I just cut them out and saved them. Just put them in a little comic bag. There's another Blue Lives Cop. Thank you, Dan. A little weird Kermit Angel thing, thanking me. Little skull guy. Nate's gonna see this video and then he's gonna be like, oh man, I stopped doing that. I feel bad, I gotta do that again. Yeah, you should do it again, Nate. I loved it. Another thing Nate did for a long time that I thought was cool is in the packages I would get from him, he would randomly, doesn't look like his art, but I don't know where that came from. He would throw in random pages cut out from comic books, just that were comics that were too damaged to sell on eBay. So he'd cut out just like a totally sweet panel, and then I just use them as bookmarks. It's like one of them is Jonah Hex, that Weapon X with the giant arms, and a sad Wolverine, sad and fat. So those are pretty sweet. All right. Here is a random print, number 59 of 100. Trant, it says. I'm not sure what the deal is with that one. I can't remember why I got that one. This is a really random thing I just got from him. Just this 1-page comic strip. Just front and back in color. Standalone page. Okay. These are awesome. So this was from that issue I showed you earlier. This is just a panel cut out, number 2 from that page. Here is Big Splash. I think this is from Just a Little Boy. Then these are just random little things he threw in. I don't know if, no, I think these are from Grixly's. I think these are from actual Grixly issues. The guy in the Deadpool shirt, avoid eye contact, his jokes are bad. And Crust Punk, indignantly vaping. Love those. Those are so awesome. I gotta try to put some of this away as I'm going. I'm getting a massive pile here. All Here we go. Okay, so we'll start with the commissions here. There is the original art to my band's shirt that I'm wearing. We also made a sticker out of this design. Here is my Jonah Hex original. You can see all the brushwork on it, and all that just got turned into flat black when he printed it. But I love the textures on the original. Really did a great job on that face, that color, super good. Little thank you thing he sent me. Third commission I got from him was a Venom, and I did not choose this. I think he was just too busy to take requests, so he just started shipping people out stuff that he'd done that were, you know, pretty cool. So I'm happy to have that Venom, it's rad. And then when he released Just a Little Boy, or no, this was from Long Boxes. He sent me a choice page from the Long Boxes from Grixly. And the best one, he sent me the original of the back cover to the Long Boxes collection. So I am the proud owner of this incredible back cover that I mentioned earlier. I don't know how this in any way ties in with the story of digging for comics, but I love it. The 3 presentations class was interrupted for when I was in 3rd grade, and I can only imagine this is a true story. A man who lost his arm to farming equipment. A guy from the railroad who described many child deaths on the local railroad tracks. And yo-yos. I remember when they brought yo-yos into my classroom as a kid. So I just love that piece. I think that's absolutely great. And I don't even know what's in here in the back. Oh yeah, so these are some panels he did on Just a Little Boy. He did everything as cutout panels, so this is like 16.1. .2, 16.3, and 16.4. So just like a little sequence from the comic and a note from him. Well, that might be it, folks. I think that's my Nate McDonough collection. So thank you guys for taking the time to watch and check out the incredible artwork from this awesome creator. I will be showing his contact information again right now so that you guys can go check out what he has to offer. Both his own comics and the cool stuff he sells on eBay. So speaking of, let's get going on this box. Where did I put my knife? Hold on. Probably fell somewhere between all these comics. Oh, never mind, it's sitting right there on top of the box. Oh yeah, it was underneath this. I also got this in the mail today, a bud plant catalog. So obviously they stuck me on their mailer when I went out there right before my birthday. That's pretty cool. All right, so what happened was in September, I saw some things on his eBay store that I wanted, but it was only just a couple of books. And so I paid them for him and just said, hey man, just hang on to those and you can send them to me with the next Grixly package. And he was like, yeah, I'll just send them out to you. I'm gonna be sending out some Grixly stuff at the end of the year. Well, I kind of forgot about it, and I think he did too, because I got my Grixly package and those comics weren't in there. But when his package came, it reminded me, like, oh yeah, that's right, he owed me those comics I bought. So, because he was going to be sending me another package. I'm like, I guess I'll look on his store and see if I can find anything else that I want. And just pick out a few other things that looked appealing to me. So I only remember a few of the things in here. Honestly, just kind of grab stuff quick. And I'm not expecting anything extra for free, but occasionally there will be a free goodie thrown in, so it could happen. It could happen. Tape. Get off of there, tape. I'm not one of those comic fans who's paranoid about tape, but something about packaging tape is just gross. All right, we got, yes, Tales of Terror number 10. That was, I think, one of the, it was either Tales of Terror or a different anthology. That was what I originally had asked for, because I've been trying to complete this run, and these things can be kind of pricey sometimes, but he gave them to me for cheap. This is number 8. He also gave me some of these for free. He does that. He'll just be like, here, how about you can have those extras as a bonus, since I give him money every month. There's number 6. Got these in really nice brand new bags and boards. Yeah, Punisher Armory number 6. There's 2 or 3 of these in here that I needed. Punisher Armory number 4. Marvel's number 2. I had never really had any interest in this series, and I know it's acclaimed. I don't have like a lot of passion for like the main Marvel U, and I got the rest of the issues for like $0.25 a piece. I only didn't have number 2, so his was like $3 or $4. I figured, I might as well get it. Gru from Marvel number 1. So I've got all of the Pacific Grus except for one issue. And now I have Gru 1 and 2. So I just need to get the one from PC, and I need to get that one standalone special. And then I have some other random ones thrown, speckled around. Here we have a king-size Spider-Man annual number 14. This is a Frank Miller issue, I believe. That's why I got it. Pretty nice art on the cover. Oh yeah, these were the ones I wanted. Alien Encounters. So Alien Encounters number 11. Getting pretty close on my Alien Encounters run. Number 12. They charge way too much for these on Lone Star, and I've just got them all really cheap from in other ways. And number 14. That's all the regular sized issues. And then there's something else in here. I do remember, oh yeah, I remember what's in here. This is gonna be cool. There's 2 things in here. Sorry, loud noises. Oh, cool. Well, there's something he threw in. Short Run, a newspaper, Comics Festival, November 1st, Seattle. Oh, this is a program guide. So yeah, he was up in Seattle for the Short Run Comic Festival, and that's where he ran into Chris Pierce from Comics Tropes and Dave from West Coast Avengers. So that's neat. That's just like a program guide for the show. All right, so Epic Illustrated, February 1983. And I'm trying to fill out the Epic run. I'm getting sort of close. And this one is supposed to have an incredible Barry Windsor Smith story. Actually, 3 new stories by Barry Windsor Smith. I think it's that beguiling one that's supposed to be really good. Look at the art on that cover, amazing. And the last thing I got was a Spider-Man hardcover that has no dust jacket. It's called Spirits of the Earth. Spirits of the Earth by Charles Vess. Whoa, oh my God. Oh, beautiful. Nate was saying how amazing this book is. And I can see why. Looks gorgeous. Even without the dust jacket, this is amazing to have. It's very inexpensive. Super cool. Thanks, Nate. All right, well, hope you guys all enjoyed that. And Nate, you should be proud. You are officially my longest video, hour and 25 minutes. So thank you guys for watching. Go check out Nate's stuff. Here's the contact information one more time. Dude keeps it real.